Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com. Alright, so we've got a small crowd out here. We only have about 200 some subscribers. This is my second channel. It's not my first channel. Secondly, technically it's actually my third channel. I have 3 channels out there, but this one and my other one, the other ones I really spend time on. Alright, so real quick, my last channel, that one's actually has 4,000, I don't know, 100 some subscribers. So that's kind of a fun channel, but it's not a dating relationship channel. It's not like solely for men, whereas this channel is a dating relationship coaching channel solely for men. Because you have to teach the male brain in the male way and slowly bring him over to understand the right brain, which is the female's brain. Because if you don't understand that, you're not going to be able to trigger her mating system. She's not going to get turned on, etc., etc. So real quick, my other channel, it was my dating relationship channel, and I did very well over there for a while. I mean, I was traveling around the country. People were flying me into Kansas, Washington, D.C., San Diego, Los Angeles, etc., etc., even Long Beach. So it's kind of a funny history about my business. I rarely get people in my area. It's the county I live in. It's Marin County, right across the Golden Gate Bridge. I probably shouldn't have moved here. I think I've had 2 clients from this county in over 2 decades, and then San Francisco I've got 2 or 3 clients, and then the East Bay I had 1 or 2, and this is in 20 years. Most of my clients fly in from out of the state, and I've had about a dozen people fly in from out of the country. A few flew in from the UK. One is Adam. I think I've uploaded some videos with Adam in there where I was interviewing him, and I had a guy fly in from Japan, Australia, trying to think there's somewhere else. Now, before I get to the video, the reason why I'm bringing this all this up is because if you look at these videos, like this is Neil Strauss, the guy who wrote the game, and those girls in the club, I've known them for a little while, and I guess what I'm saying is it used to be kind of a really cool group thing to get 2 or 3 guys, maybe even more, to basically go to clubs from one place to another, like one weekend then the next. It was kind of like a fun thing to do. So what I'm trying to do is rebuild that. I was in a really bad accident 15 years ago, like really, really bad. Maybe I'll explain another time. I've healed up tremendously from it. The doctors did not think I'd ever be like, I run, I bike, I lift weights, I do push-ups, sit-ups, shadow box, kick, all that stuff still. And so the doctors didn't think I was going to recover this well. So here's what I want to do. I want to get this business up and running again to where we can have a group of guys where we go out. Now, I don't think I want to do like a big group of guys, but like 2 or 3 people. We kind of go to a club and we start practicing stuff, because it becomes kind of a it's the thing. There's a word, like a community. So the lockdowns also pretty much kind of crushed my business, or this side of the business, not my personal development side. So this side I make more money. The trainings are a lot more expensive. Then I do my one-on-one coaching, and it's just a lot of fun. So I'm going to do my best to find a way to get more people to come to this channel, subscribe, and to build a community. I've actually had 2 different people within 12 months of each other say, oh, no, you're doing your SEO wrong on your YouTube channel. Let me do it for you. It didn't do a damn thing. But I appreciate it, because they did it for free. They said, if it doesn't work, you don't pay me a dime. And both of them on their own account said, hey, yeah, the numbers, it's not moving. So he goes, I'm sorry to waste your time. But we'll figure it out. Alright, I'm going to bring up a subject that frustrates the crap out of every man on the planet. She wants your loyalty, but if you're too loyal, she'll lose interest. If you cheat, she's done. But if you don't cheat, she's probably going to get bored and leave you anyways. Now here's the thing. She'll actually lose interest in you if women are not interested in you. So it's a really funny, I don't know what the word is. I don't know if dichotomy is the right word, but it's just a really funny kind of twist of fate where and it's really true. I will tell you something. I've seen guys that are just totally loyal, and women, I'm telling you right now, women are not attracted to that. It's like you have to have boundaries. If she disrespects you, I'm going to tell you right now. Like, okay, the caveman picture's coming up in about 5 seconds. If you just look at the caveman, he's like, I don't give a shit about anything. It's like right now, he's hungry. He's going to go run, chase down a deer, or whatever he does. He's going to get food. He's going to eat. He's not going to ask for permission. He's not going to invite her along. Hey, do you want to, I'm going to run across this field. Do you want to get some food? No, he don't give a shit. He just wakes up. Oh, I'm hungry. He looks around. Oh, there's some food. Boom, he's gone. Everything a caveman did is what women are hardwired to be attracted to, because for survival purposes and mating purposes and taking care of the child purposes, when she's pregnant 6 months, 9 months, and she has a baby that's 6 months old, 1 year, 2, 3, 4 years old, she needed to have certain instinctual survival skills, such as, number one, she needs to follow him if she wants some fucking food. Excuse my language. This got hardwired into her neurology, into her mating system. In fact, this is why modern women lose interest in the modern male, because the modern male has been brainwashed, lied to, tricked, and manipulated and taught by movies and church and our mothers. Oh, you need to do this for her. You need to ask her permission. You need to... It's everything that ruins it. Literally, it ruins relationships. Her mating system is, remember, it's wired from the caveman days. And back then it was all about survival. And that's something you have to understand. See, we live in a modern era where men are trying to attract women with, well, I've got my master's degree, I've got my doctorate degree, I own a business, I make this much money. It doesn't fucking matter. God, it's just, I don't know how to explain this to you. It might be an initial sugar high, and that's the thing you gotta understand. You could buy your girlfriend or wife a Ferrari, she'll be happy as hell, but I'll bet you $100 right freaking now, in less than 2 weeks, she's gonna bitch and moan and complain about something. That sugar high only lasts for a few days to a week or so. Alright, I'm going to give you some truth. And I was kind of surprised my haircutter said this. Now, she's from Mexico. And it's not, well, again, and this was also about 20 years ago. So she was about 40 plus years old. She had 2 or 3 children with her husband. And she was kind of upset because he hired a girl. Now, he was a painter, and he hired a young blonde girl to work with them, and it was really obvious they were having an affair. It was he'd come into the store, the hair salon, with her, and I remember looking at every woman in that office, in that hair salon, looked at him like, oh shit, and Mariella, she's getting all pissed, and you could feel the tension, man. And he's like, oh hey, just trying to act like he doesn't notice how everyone's just frozen, locked onto him. And I'm gonna make a point with this story. And so this happened a few times. So finally, I said, "Look, man, let's not bullshit around. He's cheating, huh?" And she's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Does that piss you?" Yeah. But the thing is, it didn't piss her off for the reason that you would think. So a couple of weeks went by. I used to get my haircut about every 2.5 weeks, and I went in, and she was really, really sad. And she basically opened up. Now, this wasn't the first time. It kind of was a slow kind of thing. Like one day, then another. I went in again. Finally, I go, "What's going on?" So she said, "Oh, my husband's cheating on me. He hired that blonde girl, blah, blah, blah." And she was a lot younger. He was probably 47 at the time. The girl was probably 22 or something. Now, they're from south of the border, just so you know, from Mexico, because this plays a little bit of a role, but it really kind of does and it doesn't. It only does because they're not so extremely politically correct like we are here, because here you're not even allowed to say what I'm about to say. Over there, well, she goes, "Well, it's just true, though." So she was explaining all this to me, how he's cheating, how she this and this and that, and she was going on and on. I'm like, well... yeah, but I mean, he's been doing this for like a year ago, and we've already talked about this months ago, so it's not like you didn't know it. She goes, yeah, and I forget what I said that triggered her to say this, and I said something to her. Let me see if I can remember what it was. I can't remember right now. Maybe it'll come up. So I said something, and she goes, yeah, but Michael, you don't understand. I go, I don't understand what? She goes, Michael... in my country, we expect our men, our husbands, to cheat on us. And I was like, what? Because in America, that is not, that's not acceptable. Now, even right now as an American, I'm still kind of even scared just to say this because of the backlash I could get. So I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, Michael, he's a man. We know he's, sleeping around. I'm like, really? I go, and you're okay with this? She goes, well, yeah. And I go, why? Now, here's the deal. She had 4 other girls working with her at the same time. And we're all having this conversation together. And she was cutting a woman's hair, and she was in the conversation too. So it was about 5 or 6 women, all from south of the border. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, well, you don't understand. It's different in my country. I'm like, well, what do you mean? She goes, well, Michael, we know they're cheating. I'm like, okay, so why are you okay with that? And she goes, well, because if he's not chasing other women, that means he's not a man. I'm like, what? And she goes, Michael, look, a man wants to have sex. I'm like, okay. And if he doesn't want to have sex, now here's what she said though, a man wants to have sex with a lot of women. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the truth. She goes, yeah. She goes, Michael, women aren't stupid. We know that it's in your nature to do that. Like, we know it's inside. I'm like, okay. Very refreshing conversation for me, by the way, because as an American, I'm not even allowed to have this conversation. So, and I'm like, okay. And she goes, Michael, I'm like, I go, so I even don't understand even more. So if all of you know that this is the way your men are and that's expected, then why are you even upset about it? And she goes, because of the way he does it. I'm like, okay, so what do you mean? Now, here's the deal. You have to understand something. Mariella was the boss of that family. She was not a wimp. She was not a little girl either. She was a big woman, and she was, what's the word, the head of the house. She was she wore the pants in the family, okay? So if you think she's some little feminine pushover, no, not her. Okay, so back to what she was saying. She was, Michael, you got to understand. In Mexico, we know our men are cheating, but they're not supposed to do it in front of our friends and families or our coworkers and people that we know. They're supposed to be smart about it and do it kind of like, I forget how she said, but behind the scenes where no one sees it. They're not supposed to be out in public and blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. I think it's time to move to Mexico. No, just kidding. So all the women in the room go, yeah. And I'm like, really? Now as an American man, I'm just like, wow, you're a very enlightened group of people. Very wise. So actually I didn't say that, but I was just kind of like, I feel like I've walked into the Twilight Zone. Alright, so I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, Michael, like, everyone knows that men chase women. We're not stupid. I'm like, okay. She goes, but out of respect, and not only respect for me as the wife, but also our children, and also my mother and father, and his mother and father and family, etc., they're supposed to be smart about it and just be, she didn't use the word sneaky, but there was another word that basically meant sneaky. So that was a really enlightening thing. Now, here's the thing. Is she also said something to the effect, I don't remember how she said it, but it was something to the effect of essentially, if women aren't interested in your man and aren't trying to flirt with them or smile or wink or, stuff like that, make eye contact, well, if he can't get other girls, then, well, he's not much of a man. Alright, now, so let's take a look at this guy. This guy essentially is desperate. This is a loyal guy. In fact, it was another video I saw where she's saying, yeah, when guys are ultimately loyal and completely loyal, we don't really have interest because, well, there's nothing to lose. There's no chase, and there's a whole secret way to get women to chase you, and they love the chase. Now, as men, you think, well, I don't want to hurt her feelings and act like I'm not interested or blah. And here's the thing, though. This is where most of the other courses go wrong, is they teach you how to act. I do not teach acting lessons. This is not Hollywood. What I do though is I teach you how to go back inside you like the caveman was for thousands of years. This is what the female mating system is used to. This is what it sees as correct. When you're this guy that's totally focused on her, you are showing neediness. I'm desperate. I can't get any other girl, but I'm going to sacrifice all that which I can't get in the first place and give you loyalty. Honestly, you're supposed to be the man. You're supposed to be the guy that can come and go as he pleases, does what he wants, and if she doesn't like it, well, that's too bad. And essentially, here's the funny thing. I've done a lot of work with an energy healer and, just personal development stuff. And, everything they teach is like, look, you have got to be very comfortable with yourself. You've got to be very comfortable with getting what you want out of life, doing what you want out of life. And all the work I've done and heard and read in books and the seminars I've been to and the work I've done with one-on-one coaching is, Michael, you've got to have boundaries. You've got to live your life your way, and if they don't like it, they can leave. And she was talking about relationships. Now, I'm making a point here, okay? Here's what it is. It's like, okay, all the other courses, even these women are saying, yeah, you got to have your own life. You got to this and you got to that. It's like this is, and action. It's Hollywood time. Now I'm going to act like I have a life. Now I'm going to act like I'm not interested. Here was the old pickup artist routine. If you get a woman's number, don't call her back for 3 days. And it's like, why? Because it shows that you're not desperate. That's fake. That's acting. Here's why. The next time you see her, you're going to be like this, dude, just locked on and looking at her. And here's the thing. The male brain, God, this is good. This is diabolically backwards. All right. So our mate, okay, in the lower reptilian brain, this is important. This part I never talked about on this channel yet. Our mating system is right next to our hunter system. Now, this causes a huge problem. This guy right now in this image, he is in hunter mode, which to her system says desperation, says neediness, says he can't get any other girl. And to be honest with you, it does. When you open up the right brain and you look at this picture, I promise you, save this picture after you take the course and come back and look at it, and you're going to go, oh my God, he's completely in that narrow, foveal, focused, linear system. And that tells the female mating system, yeah, this isn't a good mate. He doesn't have options. See, the female mating system curves off to the right brain. The left brain is singularness of focus. Now, how many is that? One. Singularness. The right brain is about options and possibilities. The left logical brain is the desperation brain. So if you're a really smart guy and you got great grades in school, and you got your master's degree and doctorate degree, and you're still struggling financially, or even if you are making decent money and you're struggling with women, it's because you're in the poverty brain. You're in the desperation brain. You got to understand, her mating system is curved off, the nerve curves off to the right brain. Because when a man opens up to his right brain, that means he has options and possibilities in life. It's not just about women. Mother Nature or God designed women to be, her mating system to be designed this way, because the men that are right brain, those are the men that get ahead, because you could see the pieces of the puzzle, whereas the left brain, you can only see one. It's really good at focusing on singularness of focus. And you think, yeah, I'm real focused. That's not good when it comes to making money. That's not good. Entrepreneurs are very right brain people. People that live abundantly, because the right brain is the abundance brain. It's about options and possibilities. How many options and possibilities? All the grains of sand that's on the earth, that's how many options. All the stars in the midnight sky, that's how many options. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that she's necessarily thinking like that. But when her mating system goes to the right brain, that's the option brain. When you're not in the option brain, it just doesn't get triggered. But when you're in the option brain, boom, she wants you. She may not even know why. She may not logically be able to break it down. Now here's the interesting thing. When you're in this right brain system, you're accessing the greater awareness system. You're accessing the options and possibilities system. When you're in this system, it calms her down and makes her feel more warm and sensual towards you. The left brain is the rigid, uptight, linear focus system. When you're in that system, it pulls her into that system, which, number one, pulls her out of her right brain and shoves her into her logical brain, which disconnects her from her mating system, because her mating system is connected to the right brain's communication center. So when you're speaking that logical language, which men do, they can't help it, it turns her off. You literally just put yourself in the friend zone because you disconnected her from her mating system by being Mr. Logical. And all men think it's about being logical and making money. See, money is logic. Money is a left brain aspect. It's a left brain product, okay? She doesn't give a shit about that. I know it sounds bizarre, but I mean, you know, I'm not going to go over this again, but how many videos have I made where I talked about Jeff Bezos and all these millionaires, or billionaires? If it's all about money, why are these billionaires getting divorced? The women are just taking the money. They were never in love with them. They never had sexual attraction to them. Let's be honest. They married them for their money. And that's something guys will say, but they never actually stop and think about it and go, yeah, she married you for your money, so why are you mad when she leaves you and takes your money? She wanted the money, not you. So there's a series of things that women want from men that really come from one single thing. They want a man that women chase. They want a man that can have another woman anytime he wants. They want a man where every time they go out, they can tell, like, man, women are looking at him. Well, what is this? It's the right brain system. It's the internal system. Now, I had a student named Abenev, and he didn't believe that he could get a girl, etc., etc., and he knew how to do the internal awareness techniques. Here's my point. I teach a series of internal awareness techniques. Now, if you're going, well, that's weird, it should be weird to you because you're the external brain. You're a man. Everything to you is external. If I start speaking the external language, I'll say, yeah, that makes sense, Mike. You know, say, look, man, first you got to do this, and second you got to do that, and then thirdly, fourthly, you got to do this, and then after that, you got to do this, but before that, make sure you do this, because that's how you're going to make it happen. Now, right now, your brain's going, yeah, man, I didn't even say anything. I just said first this, second, third, fourth, before, later, then, after, and yet before. I'm going up and down a line. The male language is very simple because it's designed to get the job done. The right brain is designed to make life worthwhile. Otherwise, you just work and work and work and work, and it's exhausting and it sucks, and there's no pleasure, there's no sensuality, there's no chocolate, there's no wine, there's no apple pie, there's nothing delicious. It's like you just eat raw meat, and if you're lucky, you can cook it and eat it, and every day that's what you're going to eat. Life would fucking suck. The right brain is what's made life worthwhile. It makes life meaningful. So here's the deal. If you learn how to do this internal awareness stuff, it'll automatically trigger her mating system. So the last girl I'm dating, she is in her 20s. I don't want to give her, she's very young. First thing she knows when we were walking, we went to a coffee shop, and then after we were there for an hour, we started walking down, it was Chestnut Street in San Francisco. And she's kind of looking around, and all these girls are staring at me. Even young girls, like really young girls. Women, young girls, older, it doesn't matter. She just looks and she goes, God, women really stare at you. So on the one hand, it was intimidating. At one point, she literally said a couple weeks later, she goes, I don't know if I'm good enough for you. And I'm like, oh, God, don't say that. Because I hear that a lot. So the thing about it is it's a challenge for them. Because now they have to fight to not only keep my attention, but they have to work. Maybe not fight, work is probably the best word, but they have to work for it now. Whereas with most men, like Mr. Loyalty guy, the minute women see him in this right here, when you open up your right brain and take a look at him, you're like, dude, that looks so fucking desperate. See, the thing is, it is desperate, but guys like this lie to themselves. Oh, I'm not desperate, really? I hear this all the time. I hear it all. Oh, I've taken pickup artists. I've done this. I'm like, okay, well, hey, let's go to the local coffee shop and show me your stuff. And they're like, oh, well, they'll say, oh, it doesn't work in coffee shops. I'm like, oh, it doesn't. Well, how about if we go to bookstore? Oh, well, it doesn't work in bookstores. I'm like, okay, so, well, I tell you what, there's a really cool restaurant around the corner. Let's go over there. Oh, yeah, it doesn't work there. I go, well, how about if we go to a bar? Well, it doesn't really work in bars. I'm like, so where the fuck does it work? The thing about it is guys that are locked in their logical brain, they are desperate. And the women you're with, they're more than likely, they're getting bored of you and they're looking around for other guys. They're probably already cheating on you. Now here's the really interesting dynamic of all this. When you become this internal male, what I call being internal, all of a sudden women will lock on. They will stare at you. They'll try to talk to you. They'll walk up to you. And see, a lot of these guys giving you all this million bits of pieces of information of advice. It's just like, the reason why they're saying it is because they're in the left brain. The left brain is all about millions of bits of pieces of advice that are disconnected. And it's kind of like, well, all you got to do is learn a couple core basic things. Learn how to be emotionally grounded, which means being internal. Speak the internal language and learn how to come from and process information and communication from the internal right brain language. There's 3 core pieces in my course. Once you do that, her mating system gets triggered all day long. Now here's the even more interesting thing. Like, all of a sudden you have options when it comes to women, and she can see it. It's obvious. So back to Benev. It took a while for him to learn how to do this and be grounded. And I said, you know what you need to do? So I would take him out in public. Now, when you're with me, it's easier because when you're around other people that are internal, it allows you, or it makes it easier to access that, okay? And so when you're around people that are linear and external logical, your unconscious mind wants to match them and it pulls you over there. And this is the same problem that women have when they're around logical linear men. It pulls them over into their logical brain and it pisses them off. They want to be comfortable. The right brain is the happy brain. It's the comfortable brain. When you get stuck in your left brain, that's where frustration happens and anger and irritability. When you learn how to open up the bonus of this, guys, it makes you feel fucking awesome. And guess what? She wants to feel that too. She wants to be able to breathe deep. Her lungs relax. Her guts relax. She wants her muscles and body relaxed. And when you're what's called an emotionally grounded guy, women can relax around you. And that's the kind of guy a woman wants to be around. Because now she can be comfortable. She can be sensual. And on top of it, she constantly has this thrill of the chase, this excitement. Okay, remember probably the last video of the video before, I talked about the cat and mouse game, how Johnny came over, he brought me across the street. Now, we were little kids, we were like 4.5 years old, and we went to the back porch, and the dad was there, he's like, shh, be quiet, be quiet. Well, I'm looking at the cat, and the cat's looking at a mouse. I'm like, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, cute little mouse, oh, cute. And I look at, oh, shit, the cat's gonna, and sure enough, the cat, now, watch this, the minute the mouse moved, boom, the cat got all excited, boom, it jumped on it, bit into it, dug its claws into it. It was excited, keyword excited. So when the mouse ran, the cat went after it, and that was exciting. Now, the cat let the mouse go, and it's like I knew instantly, like, oh, don't move, because I kind of figured it out, like, oh, when it moved, that cat pounced on it. And sure enough, the mouse, it started to kind of run away, but it was kind of broken because it literally broke its back or legs or something. It was kind of wobbling. But the minute that mouse started to run again, boom, that cat bit into it and chomped into it. I'm like, oh, shit, just don't fucking move. And the cat let it go, and it didn't move. The cat started to walk away, and sure enough, the damn dumbass mouse tried to move again. And I'm like, oh, no. And the cat pounced on it, bit into it again. The minute that mouse, I mean, not the minute, the millisecond that mouse didn't move, the cat patted it once, looked at it, and took off. And that's what I forgot to point out in the last video where I talked about this, is what happened is the minute the mouse does not give a chase, the game's over. The cat gets bored. And I remember I asked the dad, I go, why did it do that? Because I figured, like, well, it's going to eat it because it's hungry, which is actually pretty smart for a little 4.5-year-old kid. And the dad goes, well, I go, well, why did he do that if he's not going to eat it? And the dad goes, well, he's got food in the garage. He's got fresh water every day, and he gets fed a can of food at nighttime. So he's got food all day and night, and he's got a little doorway that he can run into the garage, and from there he can run into the kitchen doorway. He got a little cat doorway there too. He goes, he's not actually hungry. It was exciting and it was fun. And once it was over, he got bored and took off. That's exactly the way women are wired. So here's the deal. You get all these coaches telling you like, what, don't call her in 3 days, and if she texts you, wait 2 hours to text her back. And this is logical left brain linear bullshit, and women can read right through it. Because it's pretty obvious. When you're in your right brain, you're tuned into your five senses: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. So when a guy, he say 3 days later he calls in, he talks like this, and he's short of breath, and he's kind of got this nasally voice, and well, he's fucking desperate. Alright, think of it this way. If you had 100 women right now that would have sex with you, and on top of you say, yeah, I want a new girl, go out to a coffee shop. If you know how to pull women like that, there is no desperation. And if some girl starts giving you shit, you'd be like, well, screw her, boom, delete her phone number. Like you're like, yeah, I'm done with you. Women can feel the difference between guys that are playing a game and acting versus guys that genuinely know how to do this. Well, I shouldn't even say that. I shouldn't even say know how to do this. Generally, guys that are in this space. I know that sounds like a weird phrase because I hated it when I first heard of it for years. But when you're in this part of your system, women are just naturally drawn to you and attracted to you. Now, I shouldn't have used the word just because it's not like, well, it's just some weird magical thing. No, it's because it connects her to her mating system and it makes her horny, and you're the guy that does it, and you're the one she wants to be with, etc., etc. See, the mistake most guys do is, I'm Mr. Logical. Hey, look at my bank account. You try to impress, which is the left brain word, and you're using the energy, the linearness, which forces her into left brain, disconnects her from her mating system. Now she's fucking bored, going, Jesus Christ, I got a headache. I got to go home. Because your eyeballs are external, like, here, I'm going to go back to that guy. So here's the deal. It literally, like the title, here, get the girl, keep the girl. This literally keeps her excited. It keeps the chase going. And here's the thing. You don't have to play hard to get. Okay, I'm going to give it away. So essentially, you're internal. Now your awareness is inside. Her game is to pull your awareness outside of you, out through your forehead, and onto her, just like Mr. Loyal Guy right here. A woman is going to test you. She's going to try to draw your attention out of you. This is why some guys, the way their mothers raised them, the mothers love them, treat them like a king, so their attention at a very young age becomes about themselves. So their awareness is inside them, and now they're a right brain being. This is very, very, very attractive to women, because during the caveman days, these were the cavemen that survived and lived to see another day. The logical left brain, you cannot survive in the wild. There was a test done or a study done about 20 or 30 years ago, and scientists said, if you dropped off the average Western male in a jungle or somewhere in Africa or whatever, they literally would be dead. I think they said within 4 hours. Remember, her mating system was designed and wired during the caveman era, not the modern industrial era or the computer era or the money era or the taxes era. There was no money, there was no banks, there was no brick homes, there was no microwaves, there was no freaking electricity. You have to understand, her mating system doesn't see any of that. It doesn't understand grocery store. It doesn't understand doctor. It doesn't understand hospital. So if you're trying to logically win a woman's heart, see, when you're in the left brain, you think it's about rules and logic and all that bullshit. When she sees you in that part of her brain, it automatically turns her off. She's like, oh God, he follows the rules. He does what he's told. These are not the guys that can lead a family, because the right brain is the self-led brain. See, the cavemen were so focused on themselves. You got to understand, there was no political correctness. There was no jails. There was no schools. There was no one to sit there and say, hey, you got to take care of her. You got to be a good boy. You got to follow the rules. Follow the rules is a left brain process. The left brain is the external brain. It's looking to other people to tell it what to do. That does not turn a woman on, because now you're not thinking for yourself. You're letting other people tell you what to do. The right brain is the selfish brain. Women are looking for men who can stay on path. Like, hey, I've got to get food. Oh, honey, come over here. Can you massage me? Game over. It's like you're not even there to listen. You're already gone, going after the deer. The reason why women love men that are internal, and the word is selfish, is because you have greater awareness. When you're in the internal right brain, the selfish brain, you are tuned into your five senses, and thus you and the family will be a lot safer. And not only that, but in the modern business world, from the right brain, you can see who's bullshitting you and lying to you. The left brain just goes, oh, well, he said he's a nice guy. He said I could trust him. Now here's the deal, when you're in this internal way of being, you just do what you want when you want, and now you don't have to play games like, okay, I got her number, so I'm going to have to wait 3 days to call her. You don't do any of that bullshit. She can see it in you. She can hear it in your voice over the phone. You're either internal or external, and yes, your voice does sound... See, when you're external, you're very logical. When you talk logical, even if you talk like this, it's still logical, even if you try to make it sound like baritone macho. She can hear it in the tightness of your voice, and it's still coming out of your nose. The reason why women want men who think for themselves, who do what they want, when they want, where they want, because that's a guy that's going to achieve his goals. When a guy's like, okay, well, honey, you don't want me to do this? Oh, okay. And they will. They'll try to get you to quit your job. They'll try to get you to give up on your dreams. And the minute you do, like, that guy can't think for himself. I got to get out of here. I got to find a guy who can't be swayed, who can't have his, dreams smashed because I'm not giving him vagina for a fucking week. If a woman doesn't give you vagina for a week, guess what you do? You find another woman. Because you can. And when a woman knows that you can, she's going to fight for you. She's going to work hard. She's going to make you happy. The only way a woman's going to be happy is if she's working hard to keep you, because that is the chase. Women love, I'm telling you, you can actually talk to them. They're like, oh yeah, if there's no chase, we get bored really fast, and they start getting pissy and angry and bitter. If you don't believe me, talk to your grandma, talk to your mom. Women want a man who can think for himself. They don't want a little boy that they have to tell what to do, that they have to take care of and babysit. The businessman or the caveman that's going to survive in this world is the guy who does what he wants when he wants and thinks for himself, period, end of sentence. And it doesn't fucking matter who, even if she's threatening to not sleep with you and have sex with you. Now here's the deal. When you learn how to do these techniques in my course, you'll get any woman you want. I am telling you, it is a life-changing experience. And the funny thing about it is, like, man, I was doing everything all wrong the entire time. When you get comfortable being in this other system, this other way, everything in life gets better. And it becomes easier too. The complication is gone. This literally affects every area of your life, from business to sales to dating, relationships, seduction, turning a woman on. I mean, it simplifies the world. If you're stressed out and you're working hard to pick up women and get her phone number, you know what? I don't think I've asked for a woman's phone number in probably 20 years. Because when you do this right, she gives you her number without ever asking. What I'm going to do, and I'm not joking, I'm turning you back into the caveman. I'm going to bring you back into the most natural form of who you already are. You were brainwashed and conditioned from day one out of this. So essentially, women are going to test you, and they're going to try to draw your awareness out of your body and onto them. And the minute they do that, that shows that you're weak. I'm going to teach you how to be internal, and she can't pull this out of you. Now, you're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to develop it. Once you get it, boom, you'll never let it go. You use this for the rest of your life. And now here's the deal. Women are the masters. Here's how they do it. As they're looking at you, they put their awareness on their tits or their ass or their crotch, their groin area. If they can get you to look at that, see, they're looking at you. Their eyeballs are facing you and they're in peripheral vision. But their other awareness, the right brain awareness, drops down to their chest area or their groin or their butt. If they can pull you to look at those parts of the body, bam, game over, because you look like this dude right here. You're looking at her. You're focused on her. When I teach you how to have your awareness inside you and expand out, all of a sudden now she's leaning. See, she's even got her left arm up as a barrier right there. See, you're going to see the body language. I won't even have to teach it to you. You're going to see it. Once you open up to the right brain, body language stands out. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the ultimate Uno Reverso card on her, and what we're going to do is get her to be drawn out, and her awareness goes into you, inside your body, inside your awareness, inside your space. So now you pull the Uno Reverso on her, and she's going to be impressed, because now this means that you're the leader, and now she's following you. And she's going to show you off to her girlfriends, her mother, her aunties, and everything. Because this is what every woman is looking for, a man who is self-led. Which means you have a natural internal awareness. You think for yourself, your awareness is inside you, that's the point. If she can pull your awareness outside and onto her, that means you're a follower. And that means you're an embarrassment. That means her girlfriends are going to look at her and go, oh, she's got a follower. Yeah, she got to tell this guy what to do. How embarrassing. It's embarrassing to women in their group. Can't you tell how she's kind of pulling away? I mean, look at the image. She's just kind of pulled away. She's got her arm up. It's a barrier. He's kind of like leaning in. Come on, let me in. If you have to beg in any way, like even like looking at her eyes, like with this pleading look, you're leaning forward. Guys, I'm telling you, that's a big turn off. You'll see it. I mean, because you're in your right brain, which processes right brain body language. See, if you have to have a coach say, okay, when a woman lifts her left hand and right hand and faces her palms toward you and then pushes them towards you, what she's saying is, get away from me, you creepo. Here's the deal. You've been taking courses that are teaching you rules and steps. That's all left brain logical bullshit. And the minute you do it, she's going to look at you like, oh, fuck. Well, does he got money? Does he got a nice car? Can he buy me things? Can he take me places? Can we go on vacations? Can he pay for it? I will never teach you a series of rules of what to do and when. Because when you open up to the other side and you learn how to use this system, it'll become obvious. Like, you'll see it. If someone points things out to you, logical left brain, it doesn't matter because you're still in your logical left brain. What's worse is you're learning it from your logical left brain, which is a no-no. Alright, because most men are in their linear system, it pushes your face forward. You lean forward. Don't do that. If I give you one tip in this video, come back to neutral, be upright, and then take your right or left foot and just step it back about half a foot maybe, and then kind of lean back on that foot. So you're just pulling yourself back about 6 inches, maybe a little bit more, and this creates space. But when you're leaning forward, this crowds her and it gets rid of space, and this makes her uncomfortable. This forces her into her logical left brain. I just had a talk with a young lady about 30 years old just about 4 or 5 days ago. And she goes, you know what? I used to work at the bank, and men would come up, and if you could tell when they liked you, because they get this like lock on with their eyeballs, and they lean forward. She goes, and they literally will lean over the counter, and then you lean away, and then you cross your arms, and then you turn away, and they don't get those signals that I'm saying back up, back up, back up. And you guys are like, oh, I don't do that. I've had clients tell that to me, and then I'll take them to a coffee shop, and they'll do it immediately at the coffee shop. They bring their hips all the way up to the counter, they lean over, and they lock on laser beam, and the girl's leaning away, stepping away, crossing her arms, turning away. Those are all barriers saying, dude, you're crowding me. Now, a logical left brain course will say, okay, man, don't do that. If she crosses her arms, that's a signal that she's telling you that you're crowding her. If she's leaning away, that's another sign. If she's turning away, that's another sign, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. When you open up to your right brain, you will see it. It'll stand out like a red flag, especially in the beginning. You're like, holy shit. You'll see all of it. Now, here's the deal. I almost forgot this piece. Okay, so our mating system is right next to our hunter mode. So here's what happens. When you get horny or you see a girl that you really like, even if it's emotional or she's cute or sexy, your hunter mode engages, and all of a sudden you lock on and you go into that, like this guy right here, and you can't fucking help it. Well, Mystery, the pickup artist, says, well, you just got to put that in its place. He never tells you how to do it. That's what I'm going to teach you how to do. It's a series of internal awareness techniques that will take you out of it and then draw her into you. Here's the deal. When your hunter mode engages, here's the really weird thing. Your eyes go into hunter mode like you're going to kill something. I'm serious. The pupils get really small and they pull together like they're aiming at a target. So both laser beams from each eye meet each other at the tip of a triangle at a point. But then your smile, you got this happy fake smile. So your smile doesn't match your eyes. And that's what women think is fucking creepy. Number one, what this does is it triggers your hunter mode. When you go into hunter mode, it means now you're chasing her, literally like a hunt. Women were not wired that way. They were wired like a cat to chase you. If she doesn't have to chase you, she gets bored and confused and walks away and looks for a guy that she has to chase. Number two, the really interesting thing is you don't actually have to cheat on your wife or girlfriend once you learn how to do this. Because she's going to know that other women, she'll see that other women are interested in you. She'll see it. Women will talk to you. They'll smile at you. They'll lock eyeball to eyeball. She's going to realize, okay, this is the chase. So now she's got to keep your attention. Now she's going to work to draw you to her. And this is going to be a constant, I don't want to say battle, but it's a constant challenge. And this is what women want. Otherwise, guess what they're going to do? They're going to be testing you. They're going to be challenging you. If a woman is testing you, you're not doing it right. If you're doing it right, she's going to be chasing you. And that will make her very, very happy. Women love the chase. Here's the really cool thing. I had a client, we went to Whole Foods, and I had just told him, like, hey man, make sure you don't walk all the way up to the counter, and make sure you don't lean forward and put that really creepy smile on your face with the laser beam lock on eyeballs. So he went in there and he was trying to be cool. He's cool. And then the cashier was really cute. And all right, so here's what happened. She was a little cutie, and what happened was, okay, because he was standing neutral, had one foot a little bit behind and was leaning back a little bit, and he was in peripheral vision, she leaned forward and she smiled, and she was trying to lock on with him. And what happened was she started to talk to him, really happy, and she liked him, right? And then he instantly leaned forward and he threw everything out the window, and she instantly leaned back, crossed her arms, and turned left and turned right. And he looked down, he looked at me like out of the corner, and he goes, oh shit. Now I was worried he was going to be embarrassed and humiliated. He bought his stuff, he walked out, didn't even wait for me because he was so embarrassed. I'm like, ah, shit, he's going to be embarrassed. Fuck, I hope he doesn't blow it. Because it was a 6-day course that he was taking. I didn't want him to freak out and go home. So I buy my stuff real quick and I hustle out there, and I'm thinking he's going to be like, oh man, Mike, I'm so embarrassed. No, he was grinning. I'm like, well, what's going on? He goes, dude. Now he goes, what's it? He goes, I fucked it up. I'm like, what? He goes, I fucked it up. I'm like, well, yeah. But he was really happy. I go, you can see it now, can't you? He goes, I can see it. He goes, I saw the exact moment when I leaned forward. Her face kind of panicked. She leaned away. She crossed her. He goes, I did that. Now, here's the thing. This is why they tell you to take responsibility, because responsibility means the ability to respond, which means you have power. And for the first time in his life, he saw it. This kid was excited. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't ashamed. He was like, oh my God, I get it. See, if anything, I think that was actually a really good experience for him, because he now goes, holy shit. He goes, when I was leaning away, she was literally in, because she was leaning in to me. And I'm like, yeah, she was definitely in to you. And the reason I emphasize that, because you could see how she was leaning towards him. I want more power. In this course, guys, I'm going to give you social power. And that is what triggers a woman's mating system. And that's what gets a woman to fall in love with you. That linear logical stuff, it does not work, guys. I am sorry to crush your dreams, but it just doesn't work. Let me mention something about responsibility. I had another client that took the course about 2 weeks before this kid. We went to Whole Foods. It was the same girl. Now this guy's tall. He's like 6'2.5", 6'3", and he leaned all the way over. He was all the way up, hips up to the counter, and he laser beamed. He locked on, blocked out the world, was focused on, and this girl's leaning back, leaning away. And what happened was another older cashier saw it. She came up, she came around, she grabbed him by the arm and pulled, goes, sir, back up. And he yanks his art. He goes, what the fuck? He goes, don't touch me. And so he's bagging this stuff, putting his stuff in the bag. He goes, what a fucking bitch. And he's talking to this little girl. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, dude? Don't treat her like that. So here's the deal. He's outside. He's all pissed off. He goes, oh, this shit doesn't fucking work. Well, here's the deal. I'm like, well, you didn't do what I told you to do. You were literally leaning forward. You laser beamed the fuck out of you. Locked on eyeball to eyeball like a psycho. You scared the crap out of him. Oh, now fuck that bitch. Now here's the deal. Do you think that guy got any better? Nope. Because he refused to take any responsibility. It's not, forget that word. He didn't even realize, didn't want to admit that how much, dude, I'm telling you, this guy was leaning all the way over like a psycho. I'm telling you, if you make mistakes, if you can see it, that's when you start getting your power. If you can't see the mistakes that you're making and what you're doing wrong, well, you're hopeless. Alright guys, if you want to support this channel, buy my book, Cracked Female Code, at crackedfemalecode.com. And remember, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.